What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. On this channel, I talk everything about e-commerce, online business, entrepreneurship. And today I want to tell you all about someone that I've admired for a while. This is a little bit of a different video, but I hope it inspires you as much as it inspires me. Grace Beverley, previously known as GraceFitUK, is a fitness influencer turned business mogul that I've been following closely for years and years and years. I thought I loved her back then, but I grew to love, admire, and respect her even more as she matured, graduated, and started a bunch of amazingly successful online businesses. I wanted to make this video because she is truly one of my biggest inspirations, and I really hope she inspires you as well. If you go through her YouTube channel, you will see, besides her almost 500,000 subscribers, that up to 1 or 2 years ago, she was all about fitness, booty growth, vegan nutrition, and life as an Oxford student, until it all started to change. She started to share some of her views on Brexit and on business. Boy, I wasn't ready for this. Grace was on Patricia Bright's podcast a while ago. I will link it down below so you can watch it. I've heard this interview a dozen of times now, it's that good. And she described all about how she first started using her influencer status for business. She said she needed money for tuition and had a booty/nutrition plan. She promoted it and she made 80K.
I was paying for my maintenance off the back of what I'd earned working at IBM, and then obviously extra stuff here and there. Like at the time I was only getting paid like 50 quid for a post or like something. It was like when you were really having to convince brands to even send you anything. I was meant to be getting my tuition fees from student finance, and there was a problem with it. So it was in my Christmas holidays after my first term at Oxford, obviously like really trying to work really hard, like prove that, you know, I'm good.
You're meant
like
to
all
be
that.
there.
Yeah. And then I got an email being like, you like officially are on like the suspension notice for Oxford University because you haven't paid your tuition fees. And like,
oh my gosh.
and I was like, I've always thought that I wouldn't sell like a fitness ebook for a while, and I was like, I'm just gonna have to do it. And I went home that evening and wrote it until like 5 a.m.
Wow.
and then called up my graphic designer friend again and was like, we're moving once more, like let's do this. And then put that up for sale just after Christmas with like the January hype, and basically said I'd only put it on for sale for a few days, even though it was an ebook. And I sold like 1,000 of them or something. So I was like, okay, this is not all the way there, but I'm just going to keep pushing that, all of that. And then I started like marketing it properly. I talked to like some people who I knew who had experience with these things, and like was just using testimonials, all of these things. And I remember like being completely frank, like I'm just going to be honest, halfway through January, I'd made like 80 grand off it. Like,
what?
After that, she created her first physical product, which was a booty band, the GraceFitUK booty band, which was a great opportunity back then because at the time it was a very niche product, only known for bodybuilders. She made it mainstream, basically.
November of 2017.
Of that same year where you had the accidental.
So well, it was technically the next year. Yeah, I was like talking to manufacturing partners, and I remember I was using resistance bands at the time, these fabric resistance bands, but I never knew about them until my PT friend had been like, oh, you've got to use these. Bodybuilders use them the whole time to grow their glutes. And I was like, huh, like how have I never heard of these? I've only heard of like the shitty rubber ones, like,
yeah.
And then started using them. I was like, this is amazing. And then I looked online, they were like £40, and I was like, that's a lot, like as in that's a lot. So we started looking at manufacturing of it. Turns out that was just the going rate, and so they'd been hugely inflated because they were such a specialist product for a specialist niche market. And I was like, fuck that, like girls want to grow their bums, so like I'm gonna make them and I'm gonna sell them for £14, and I'm gonna write a free booty guide to go with them. And so basically, and that was so feasible. I mean, it wasn't a margin. If I was doing it now, I would have made the margins higher because you understand that obviously what comes into that margin, it's not just profit, it's marketing, it's staff, it's office, it's all
everything
of those things.
else, of course.
But like that made sense to me at the time. I had very few like sunk costs, very few like marginal costs, even apart from the actual like CPU of the product. And so I was like, great, cool, let's do it. Sold like, put 200 of them or something up for sale. They sold within like milliseconds, to the point that the website glitched and we sold like 10 times the amount that we had. We had to call the factory, get them to work and like overdrive, ship them all over, and fulfill the rest as pre-orders. And then kind of like the rest has been just like history. It's just been about adding products, it's been about building teams, and it's been about me realizing like, oh, like
GraceFitUK was soon after rebranded and became BND, and BND even did a collab with Jordyn Woods. Soon after that, a lot more fitness products followed. I'm talking about dumbbells, long bands, sliders, ab rollers. You get the deal. In parallel, Grace was working on her own fitness app, Shreddy. It was launched in 2019, just as she was doing her final exams at Oxford. Turned over £6.2 million in the first year. This is mind-blowing to me. I also studied in a high-demand university and academic environment, and I cannot imagine having to do my finals and launch several businesses and have a business that's making millions in the first year. That's just crazy for me. Later, BND was rebranded again to be included as part of the Shreddy brand, and Shreddy launched supplements. So now Shreddy has your back for anything fitness, whether it is in your routine with the app, your equipment, and even your supplements. And also very recently I saw a picture that Grace shared on her Instagram, and I was so amazed and so proud of her. Basically, it is her with a huge London bus that has a huge Shreddy ad on it. Can you imagine like what that must feel like for her? Have your creation, your vision like come to reality like that. I'm just so mind blown. I'm so inspired when I see something like that and see how far she has come, honestly. Grace didn't stop there. Almost simultaneously, Grace launched TALA, a sustainable and ethical sportswear brand made from recycled plastic bottles and factory offcuts. I have yet to put my hands on any of the pieces, but everything looks like very good quality. I've heard amazing reviews, and everything is also very, very beautiful. Most importantly, I believe this sets a new standard for big brands with high budgets. It is possible to be sustainable and produce high-quality activewear and still be profitable. There is really no excuse for big brands not to make an effort and start changing their supply chains in order to be more sustainable and to produce less waste in the end. And TALA has even made it into ASOS.com, which is insane. The brand is obviously creating waves in the space. I took something from her LinkedIn. It says, Grace came to create waves. She's shaking up the archaic business world. She was named first in Forbes' third under 30s retail and e-commerce list, aged 23. If that's not inspiring and proof that anything is possible, I do not know what is. Let's stop right here before I move on to what Grace's fans think about all of this. For me to ask you to like this video, please, it really helps me grow. Subscribe to my channel and comment something down below. That will really help me so much and I'll be grateful forever. So back to the video. As I was saying, not all of Grace's fans agree with me. She was quite public about her decision to opt out of YouTube, again, even with 500,000 subscribers, because her audience was so critical of her new endeavors. Basically, what happened was that Grace's audience on YouTube started feeling like she was posting a lot less, and every time she posted, it was because she was coming up with something new, she was launching something, and she wanted to promote it. See, I can see how that may have looked like that's what she was doing. I actually had the same thought when she came out with the supplements. It had been months since she had posted anything, and then the video before was she was launching something, and then she posted a supplements video, and I was like, okay, girl. I mean, I was very interested, obviously, because it's my jam. But then I read the comments, and yeah, everybody was saying exactly that. The same thought that I had was like, yeah, girl, every time you post now, it's just because you want to sell us something. So I get it, but personally, I do not see anything wrong with it. But that's just my take on it. I mean, because without discounting her huge merit, right? Like everything she did, it's hard work, guys. Like, of course, everything was built off of her presence on social media and out of, the audience that she had already. Most likely, if she wasn't a fitness influencer, she wouldn't be able to launch all of these things, get backing from investors to launch all of these things, and you know, having it sell millions in the first year. Of course, none of that would have happened if she wasn't an influencer, but she has a lot of merit because this is not easy regardless. And it's also only natural that, you know, because like these ventures also rely on her having these platforms to do marketing. So of course she will do marketing of these ventures on her platform. That's just what's going to happen. Just as any influencer that launches a product will want their audience to know about it, she's coming out with products and she wants her audience to know about it. And also all of her products are fitness related and her audience is obviously into fitness. Another thing that goes into it is, like, as a business person myself, I was so interested in hearing all about everything that went into launching these ventures. You know, like there are several different ventures, you know, supplements is one game, activewear is another game, an app is a whole nother game, like all of this equipment, fitness equipment is a different game. So I was so interested in tuning in, and also she was starting to do more like businessy related videos and telling us how all of that went down. And I was so interested also when it comes to the business sense of it, the business part of it, the supply chain, all of it. But unfortunately, due to all of the criticism, and it was quite heavy, her comments were intense, she decided to swear off YouTube, and I totally get her decision. I understand where it came from, and honestly I don't think she needs YouTube anymore and the world's criticism. Yeah, she doesn't need it anymore. Also, she has a quite strong presence on Instagram at the moment, and also all of her different brands have a strong presence already. You know, TALA, BND, Shreddy. BND doesn't exist, sorry, cross that. TALA and Shreddy have a very strong presence, so she actually doesn't need YouTube anymore. She doesn't need to deal with all of the bullshit. Can you guess what came next for Grace? Well, now Grace is launching a book. It's called Working Hard, Hardly Working. It's out on, well, it's already out actually, and I have definitely pre-ordered it, but I didn't get it yet. It's all about productivity, because this girl has built a freaking empire before 25 years old while studying at freaking Oxford University. In the book, Grace will be sharing how to achieve more in less time, how to boost productivity, how to find your purpose, avoiding burnout, and all of that while making time for self-care. I'm very excited to get my hands on it because what she has done is truly impressive. Actually, about the book, I follow her on Instagram, and in the last year, I think, she was writing the book, or 9 months, I think, she was writing the book, and she said, you know, she is the CEO of both of these companies while writing the book. And apparently what she was doing was that she was actually having her work week as a CEO condensed into 2 days in a week, and then the rest of the time she was just focusing on writing the book full time. And on her Instagram, she was sharing a little bit how that went down, you know, how her team kind of organized themselves and made sure that basically they organized everything that needed a decision from her to be presented to her on those 2 days. She was sharing how she had to learn to delegate, of course, and how basically all of the processes, you know, in a way it kind of worked in her favor and for the company's growth, because all of the processes had to be designed and created so that she could be more hands-off and the team could have more autonomy and basically really capable people taking care of everything. I'm definitely very curious to hear what she has to say, and if you also want to check the book out, you can get it on Amazon. I will leave a link down below. Yeah, what is next for Grace? Where is Shreddy going, and where is TALA going from here? I don't know, but I will keep my eyes peeled on her Instagram to find out. Also, because I just noticed, I think I'll check while I'm editing, I just noticed that her YouTube is gone. Like, she actually deleted her YouTube channel. So upset. I'm honestly sad. Let me know down below if you like this type of videos. I have a few more planned out of personalities that really inspired me and that really drive me on my own entrepreneurship and online business journey. Let me know down below if you like it and if you have anyone in mind that you would like me to cover. Do like, comment, and subscribe, please. It really helps me, and we see you next time for another